Hi, everybody. This is Lisa Kessler, Kessler Insurance, and I am here today on behalf of Cheers for Charity New Hampshire. And I am here with my dear friend Joanne. Hey, Joanne.
Hey, Lisa. Hi, I'm Joanne Burchuk. I'm with Lighthouse Physical Therapy and very excited for another episode of our Cheers for Charity. And today I would love to introduce our next guest, Phyllis, who is with the Hidden Pond Farm Equine Rescue. I had to write it down because it's so long.
I'm sorry.
Welcome, Phyllis. Please introduce yourself. Tell us all about your organization.
Okay, my name's Phillis Elliott. I've had horses since I was 7. And when my kids were grown and out of the house, they're like, gee, what am I going to do? So I thought I'd like to get involved with rescuing horses. I read the book Snowman as a child in elementary school. That was written, gosh, way before the $80 million champion or whatever it was. And I didn't know how to go about it. So I asked a couple of people and they really didn't give me any direction. And on Facebook one day, I saw someone doing a GoFundMe for a shelter for rescue horses. I'm like, oh, well, what is this? So one day after too much coffee, I wrote up a story of what I wanted to achieve. And at that point, it was just, let's go to New Holland auction and whatever we raise, we'll buy some animals and get them a new home. So we ended up raising a little over $2,000. We bought 4 ponies and 4 minis, and every single one of them, except for 2, had a home before we even got back.
Wow.
And it was an eye-opening experience for me because I thought that these horses that came in and got sold between $450 and $650, I thought that they got in a good home. They rode, they were sound, they were fat, they were slick, they were healthy, they were beautiful. And at the end of the day, they were all different areas of the facility. They were tied and going to a kill buyer who was going to ship them to slaughter in Canada. So that was a little overwhelming for me. That was May 23rd, 2014. And we ended up going back the last week of August and the first week of September and did the same thing. So all said and done, we got 22 horses and we put them all in great homes. What was being suggested to us, because we kind of did this backwards, they said, well, why don't you become a nonprofit? And I'm like, well, I don't want to. I just want to go save some horses. I don't want to have board meetings and I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. But the woman that suggested it, who's still a volunteer to this day, who does all of our graphics and our newsletters and postcards and thank you cards that we send out, she strongly recommended it. We did it. I've never looked back. I've never regretted it. I have met some of the most amazing, wonderful, gifted, talented people that have been on our board that you wouldn't believe. And I think I don't have how many horses all said and done in 10 years, but I do know that we average between 25 and 30 horses adopted every year from all different kind of avenues. Horse sales, surrenders, a lot of surrenders last year, and also dealer owned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Talk a little bit about the surrenders. You had a little something on your website, so maybe share a little bit about that.
A lot of the people that come to us that have horses they can no longer afford to keep, and the horses will come in here. It's heartbreaking because a lot of the time the owners cry. They don't want to let their horse go. They need help. They can't afford to feed it. And they bring the horse to us, and we obviously take over a stewardship of the horse's life and try to find them a nice home. We do have one interesting story is about a horse. His name, gosh, what was his name? I think his name was Eugene before we got him. And he was running around the town of Sterling, Mass, loose with moose. So the Sterling Animal Control said, do you have room for him? His owner was in his 90s, him and his wife, and 90 years old, and they couldn't keep him contained. He ran the whole summer with a female moose. So I changed his name to Moose. He's still here. He's like late 20s, and he'll probably remain here the rest of his days. But that's another interesting story.
Yeah. Now the ones that you get that we're going to be going to slaughter, it sounds like they're beautiful, amazing horses. It's so great that you're able to swoop in there and grab them and, connect up the right owner to them so they can live a good life.
And deservedly so. We take horses of any age, any breed. We've had a lot of babies born here. One of them that in 2015, his mom, he was born 30 days after we got him safe. And he's still here. He's been adopted by one of my board members, and he has hearts all over him. And I just shared an old picture of him from 2015. It was a picture of a heart, which his hair coat in this area is white, but his skin pigment in the bottom was black, and it's the shape of a heart. And I said, I think he has so many hearts because he knew how much we loved him before he was even born.
Oh,
But they do end up some are not, some are lame forever, and we manage their unsoundness or their health issues. Some stay when they have health issues until they are no longer able to, and we let them go and give them the last act of kindness. And it's hard. That part of it is really difficult, but at least they knew love for a little bit of time before they go on.
yeah. So how many do you have there now? Do you have?
At 30, and we have some foster farms, and we have 3 in quarantine in New York that will be waiting to come here. What we're doing this year more so than any other is that locally we are reaching out to foster farms where the horse will go, get cared for, rehabbed, and hopefully rehomed. And that gives us the ability to do more horses than just what we have space for.
Mhm. Yeah. That is good. What kind of needs do you guys have right now? The one thing I keep hearing in the horse industry is the price of hay is just
Yes.
astronomical, and people are just having a hard time feeding their horses.
This is very true for a multitude of reasons. I'm in the Northeast. We had an awful year, an awful hay year. So because you have limited supply, your demand is just as high, if not higher. The price goes up, the cost of fuel, fuel to hay the field, fuel to ship the hay. It's just all adds up, as with everything that's gone on in the past few years as far as things becoming expensive.
Mhm.
And it is hard. And that's why a lot of the, do I feed my horse or do I feed my family? And those are hard choices. The best thing for the horse itself is an owner surrender. So the horse doesn't endure any of the trauma, get exposed to infectious disease, doesn't eat well, goes to, the auction circuit is worse than death. It just goes on and on and on and on. It's not fun for the animal.
Yeah. Yeah, and horses tend to get pretty stressed out to begin with, so that's not a good combination.
No, and you can see in their eyes from the time they come out when they're in the auction circuit through going through quarantine, and then they wake up. It's almost like someone turned a light on in their eye. In 2022, in August, we took in a draft cross mare that had been an Amish driving horse. She had pleural pneumonia so bad the vet wanted to put her down. And the woman that was caring for her at the time said, please just try. Well, she's here right now. She's full of life. She had a baby, which I wasn't expecting her to have a baby. We do get them checked. And one of the girls here said, you need to check her. I'm like, no. And she goes, yeah. And lo and behold, there was a baby in her belly. We named her Victoria, who's almost a year old. And both of them are spectacular.
I love it. What a great thing. I love the rescue part, give the animals a good life.
I like watching them get better. And I like watching them respond, gain weight, become interactive and social with their handlers. It never gets old for me.
Awesome. So Phyllis, how do people get involved? Like, you looking for volunteers? I'm guessing you could use financial support for expenses, maybe foster farms. What are you looking for?
So what we do, we're a little different. Our facility, and this is going back to COVID, I think our volunteer base grew during COVID because we're an outdoor facility, and we had, you can easily be on the farm and not see another person for the entire time you're here. So we accept volunteers. If they don't know anything about horses, it doesn't matter because we're going to teach you how to do it anyways. We also have homeschool kids come and learn about horses. We do summer camp with our rescue horses that helps educate kids about horses. We have a lot of adults that have come in and not known anything about horses and then have actually adopted them, where we recycle, and we recycle plastic, and we get benches created for free. They ship them to us for free. We just have to pay for a nameplate. We shipped one out to Arizona. We gave one to a rescue in Massachusetts, and we have a couple here of people that have passed on. So not only do we rescue horses, but we also educate. My belief is that you can rescue everything, but you're never going to stop the cycle until you educate people about what's going on. So that's a huge piece of it for us, is education.
Amazing. So how do people learn more? Where do they go? Like, where can they find out more about you?
They can go to our website to find out who we are. I post on Facebook under my personal page and also the rescue page. We have a little bit on YouTube, but not really a whole lot on that. I am involved with the horses' care every single day. I get up at 3:30 in the morning and I try to do my social media then as to if we took somebody in, or if in nicer weather, horses that we're getting going for a new home. It's getting the word out. It's been 10 years and we're still trying to do that.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a lot of people are finding you, so that's great.
We're getting there. We're
Yeah.
getting there. It's a work in progress, and you don't get educated for this and going through life, and it's kind of like learning by the seat of your pants. Well, that didn't work, let's try this. We do have an open house. We do invite, our open house has grown from just one day to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where we do something different each of those days. And what we started last year on Sunday was to do what we call first ride for children who's never had the opportunity to come and pet a horse or clean a stall or look at the tack and actually get a ride. And it's all for free. Yes. So that we try to do a lot of community awareness at different events as well.
Sounds great. Fantastic. I think what you do is so important. It's super cool. We loved hearing the story. It's just fun, right? Like hearing about taking something that's a difficult situation and turning it into love.
Yeah, it's very rewarding. And a lot of people that come here, and they come here in bad weather. Last year we had a day, -44 degrees, and it was a Saturday. But my Sunday morning wake up crew, I have volunteers, I call them my Sunday morning wake up crew because they're out there before me. They were here. They were here with another board member and I, and it was so bitter cold. And it was actually fun because we were like, if you didn't come and help us, we'd probably still be out there to this day. But, they call it their happy place. They say they come here because this is what makes them happy.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. So cool. So cool. Well, thank you so much, Phyllis, for sharing the story with us today.
Well, thank you for asking.
Warms my heart. And
yeah. And hopefully we can get the word out there. Yes. It sounds like a great little field trip for us.
Make it a nice weather day because we are an outdoor facility.
That would definitely be my preference.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be lovely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Phyllis. It was great talking to you.
You as well. Thank you.